get things figured out. Got to do a little housekeeping. Tonight, welcome to the show. We got Evelyn Rose here. That's one of the cats hanging out. And we're just going to be going over some interesting things around Wisconsin and, of course, paramotoring. But I like to start off the show. I'm going to start it off just like, people that are interested in seeing what you carry every single day. So, in my pocket here every day, I got this 704. It's a name brand. 704 Speed Assist. Straight blade. Nice little dagger. And I picked up this the other day, this multi-flashlight. It's also got a laser beam and a black light. Whoa, whoa. Oh no, watch this. Uh-oh. Why do you have a laser beam? Just in case you need to have a kitty. Aside from that, when it's going to be going out into dangerous areas, we're rolling with the G20 10mm Glock. This thing will stop a bear, it'll stop a car. It's got a lot of stopping power, been putting a lot of rounds through it. We're running some hollow points in here right now. Aside from this, with the hollow points, you can really bring in a lot of stopping power with the 50 round drum here. So that's the everyday carries, the things you got to take with you. But today we got a couple different things going on. We had a big Packers victory. We had Packers went down to Arizona. Our record prior to the game today was 3-1-1, so not bad. We do have that tie. But we ended up pulling out a victory in the fourth quarter. Good showing by the defense and Jordan Love. So that's nice on the Packers. On the downside, the Brewers fell to the Dodgers 4 games straight. The Brewers' best record in baseball, one of the best seasons we've had. Euchre was shining down upon us. And we made it deep into the playoffs, but could not beat those Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani just was the dagger. And took us down. So it's going to be an interesting World Series to watch. I always love watching the World Series. Played baseball growing up. As a matter of fact, I was a pitcher all the way into high school. Used to have about an 86-mile-an-hour fastball. So prior to racing motocross and paramotoring, I was a baseball pitcher. So, Robbie was going to be my guest tonight. I had a good guest on. He's going to be on hopefully in the future. We're going to talk about some kiteboarding. But tonight, I want to open up the comments section to have any questions because we're going to be talking about paramotors. And I'm going to go over these 3 categories. Best flight, worst flight, bucket list flight. First flight, I'm sure if you guys have seen the YouTube videos and when you were with me, out in Glamis, California, flying the sand dunes on Veterans Day. That was the best flight I've ever had in my entire life. Worst flight, I don't know. I mean, I have about 600 flights in 11 years of flying. I can't think of too many worst flights. I never had like an engine out or a super bad crash, but I guess I blew a belt a couple times. Not too bad, nothing major. I mean, if you guys are, have something to share about your worst flights, that's when I got into paramotoring. The first thing I looked up was paramotor bad flights and accidents. And then you really learn about it. So Rochelle asked here, Rochelle, she's my assistant.
Yes. I would like to know, how do you buy a paramotor, Mark?
Well, a lot of different people are selling paramotors across the United States, and you can expect to spend about $10,000 to $15,000. I would say $15,000 for a 2-stroke engine, a glider, and such is too much to spend. I think about $10,000, Rochelle, would be your budget. But there's people that I know that have gotten pretty darn good deals for around the $5,000 range. But like anything, it's like buying a cat, Sometimes you got a good one, and sometimes you got one that shits all over your pillow. So, poops all over your pillow. Corey, I remember this one time I had a motor out and you had to come and rescue me. Oh, Corey, welcome to the chat. Welcome down to the waiting room, as we call it. Yes, I was flying with Corey one time, and he was on the Air Max 220, took off across the sky, and we didn't see him. It was at sunset, disappeared, ran out of gas. We had to rescue you, Corey. Thanks for coming along tonight. That's a worse flight. I've seen some videos of worse flights where, there's crashes involved. So what I always said in the beginning is I want to fly for as long as possible. I don't care if I do barrel rolls. I don't care if I do whoop-de-doos. But tell you guys what, just the other day I got a new Da Vinci Jazz 2 wing from Blackhawk. I flew it one time. The wind was kind of strong, so I was getting bumped around down low. But it's definitely a wing that should probably go up to 5,000 feet and start pulling the strings, because it's got the 2D steering and it felt fully capable of doing barrel rolls. And what I realized in that moment was, I don't know if I'm capable of doing barrel rolls. They're kind of scary. Just doing big wingovers is a little scary. And hey, anybody else, well, thanks for coming in here. Make sure to comment. If you have any questions at all about paramotoring, about fun experiences that you've had this fall flying, we are in peak fall colors time here in Wisconsin. As we drove around today, Rochelle and I actually had our engagement pictures today. And
it was super pretty out.
I'm pretty excited.
You've had a couple of videos, haven't you, Mark, of being in the fall colors?
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite time of the year to fly is fall. Now, summer is great because, you don't need gloves. You can fly in your shorts. Fall is just that transition time where you're able to fly maybe jeans, maybe a sweatshirt or a jacket. But the leaves are beautiful, and if you hit it at the right time, you can get just those gorgeous colors. And it's just, as you're up there flying, the whole point of flying the paramotors is to go out and see cool stuff. So fall colors flying in Wisconsin is amazing. I'm guessing anybody in the whole northern half of the country at this time of year gets to see some more unique visuals than usual. So yeah, it's fun fall flying.
Something too, Mark, I was thinking, we've been watching a lot of hog hunting videos. Could you imagine paramotoring and hog hunting?
So this has always been the theory on, I think, hog hunting from a paramotor. I believe in Texas it would fully be legal, from what I've been told and the research I've done. The downside is it shows the world that a person on a paramotor could be lethal from the sky. And nobody in the paramotor community wants to do that. We all want to keep a good reputation. But let's say Texas or one of these states that has a very invasive hog hunting problem said, yeah, this is totally legal. If you had, let's say this one here, this is the Kel-Tec Sub 2000, 9mm, 31 rounds. Let's say you could go and fly legally. This sure would be an ideal setup. It's got the red dot. I think we watch the videos and you see it happen. They're an invasive thing that damages crops. That's the only reason that I think it makes it okay. I wouldn't want to just go out and shoot a bunch of, especially with the 9mm. However, when you're talking about having a little bit more stopping power, then you're going to want to go with the 5.56. Then you'd be able to take down some hogs. But hog hunting from the paramotor, yeah, certainly would be fun. If anybody has ever heard of anybody doing that, let me know. I've never seen a video of it. I don't think it's legal, but they fly helicopters. They fly and shoot them out of helicopters, so.
I would imagine you'd be able to with a paramotor, but I think it is good that the paramotor community probably
keep safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time I made this video, I wanted to land at a different location. I thought it'd be good to drop a smoke bomb since you didn't really know the wind direction. And I bought a grenade smoke bomb. It looked like a grenade. And I made the video, I pulled the string, I threw it. It was a grenade. And it dropped and smoke came out and I knew the direction of the wind. My buddy called me, he said, "You can't do that. You can't make a video like that. People are going to think you're going to fly somewhere and drop." So I get it. We got to keep the paramotor community as safe as possible and make sure that everybody's, doing the right thing. With that being said, there's a lot of different things that you can do with the paramotor, and I think the biggest goal is for me up here. I don't have a lot of people at a big community. I got Robert and Corey. Corey, how you doing, buddy? Who's watching? But it's a matter of putting together a cool game plan. Launch would be tough with a rifle. I don't know. Back to that. You could easily do a chest pack. You could probably do a leg mount. I think the biggest thing would be the cartridges. You need one of those cartridge, like spent shell catchers, because if that went out into the propeller, you'd instantly be toast. So, Corey, again, I really appreciate you being in here. Corey is one of the first people that I trained to fly. Corey Ronk, his wife bought him surprise paramotor training, and then she got him a wing too, and great pilot. Learned on some gear that wasn't sized right. Corey, I remember you flying that 220. It was like driving a Dodge 8500 in Europe. It was too much. Anyway, so back to it about the whole paramotors, fun things to do in the community. I think it would be fun if we could get like a nice paramotor camping trip put together. Marty, my friend, and I from southern Wisconsin put together one time, and we had like 25-mile-an-hour winds. It was the fastest speed I ever hit on the paramotor, 61 miles an hour. Marty wasn't able to get off the ground, so we packed everything up. We had tents, we had sleeping bags, we had the whole works, but it didn't work out. So that's actually one of my bucket list flights, is to do a camping trip, or maybe fly into a really remote trout fishing area, catch a couple trout, and hook it back out. Oh, Mr. TNT Motorsports. Trent, I saw a video of hog hunting from PPC. I think you need 2 people on board. Fascinating. That would make sense, because if the PIC, the pilot in charge, is shooting a gun, yeah, I can see that, them not wanting you to do that. Makes sense. Throw out any other questions you guys have out there. We're really excited to make this first paramotor podcast, and right here in this spot you could be the next co-host of the paramotor. So Corey, Trent, you guys are always welcome to come on down here. I know it's deer hunting season coming up, so we have a lot of stuff going on. Rochelle, back to you.
Back to me. All right. Well, let's see. I don't think that you've talked about... Did you talk about your first flight yet? Your first flight ever?
Well, I think we're going to start this first flight story off with a precursor at the park today. And brothers there, the wing side, of course, the way. And I was self-trained. I never had any training. So finally, the wing came up straight. My brother put his arms out to the side, which to me meant everything was good. I took off into the sky. I went straight towards a radio antenna tower. Here's the tower. I went straight towards it, and at the last second, I leaned. And I went right next to it. Probably about a 3-minute flight.